Thank you for tuning in to another Facebook Live seminar, which we will record and put up on our YouTube channel. It is such an honor and a pleasure having you join us. Today, we are talking about catfishing. And this will be one of our, certainly one of our more interesting interactive classes. Now, let me apologize for those of you who were under the impression that we were going to talk about dating or Plenty of Fish or Craigslist. We're not talking about that. We're talking about catfishing in terms of real estate, in terms of lending. So I invite you to chime in. Again, this is fully interactive, so feel free to be as candid as you'd like, but we do want to make sure that this is a very productive video. It will be recorded and put up on the channel, so please make sure that your comments are productive and responsible is the good word for the day. I will try to answer all the questions as they come through. Thank you again for joining us. It looks like I have a twin named Johnathan Barber who joined us as well. So hi, Johnathan Barber, whoever you are, cool beings. Again, interactive, so ask any questions that you'd like. To get us in the right frame of mind, I'd like to recite Wikipedia's definition of catfishing. Wikipedia has defined catfishing as an activity where a person creates a fake identity for nefarious purposes. So I would like to add to that definition, as it is a practice used when a fake identity is created so that it increases the odds of success or profit. Let me say that again. It's very important. Increases the odds of success or profit. A prime example, earlier today, I went to a particular restaurant and got a salad. I got a salad, had beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture of a salad right there at the menu. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to taste so good. I want something healthy. I want something filling. Got apples and oh, it just looked so good on the advertisement. Mouth was watering and the whole 9 yards. And when they served me the salad, it looked like what a salad never wants to become, ever. It was the smallest salad. The lettuce was not fresh. The apples were slightly browned. And we're not going to say where I got the salad, but it was very disappointing. I fell for an advertisement. I paid too much for the salad, and I got a really bad result. Another prime example, and I don't know why I'm thinking of food examples right now, but maybe it's because it's close to dinner time. You pull into a certain fast food restaurant, and you see the picture of the burger, and you remember the guy's voice, the guy who sounds like the Green Mile guy, the mega meat guy. And you see on the advertisement this big sandwich that's junior football size sandwich, and you order it thinking this is going to complete my appetite for a day or two. This is a big sandwich, and you get to the window to pay for your meal, and they hand you something that they literally toss into the bag, and you open the bag and you see that it's a sandwich about that big. It's an insulting version of what you thought you were getting. The meat is sliding off of the squished bun, and it's soggy, and it looks like it's been sitting under that lamp for hours. That is what you get. So you, my friend, were catfished. You were catfished. You were a victim. I see that some other friends are joining us. That's great. Welcome. And again, feel free to chime in. A friend of mine whose name will not be mentioned, and no, she didn't just join us. Went on Plenty of Fish dating website, saw a guy who looked like Fabio, big beautiful locks of hair. And the description on his profile was that he liked climbing and all these weird outdoor activities and hiking and biking, and he could swim and blah, 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 blah. So they were interacting back and forth, writing each other back and forth. Then she found out his true identity was so alarming, she killed her whole account because she found out that the guy did not look like Fabio. In fact, he looked like Gary Coleman. He was shorter than 5 feet. He was bald and did not have the big flowing Fabio locks on his profile. So guys, catfishing is real. And I know that we're talking about food and dating, you know, these aren't really as serious as buying a home. Can you imagine having all of your dreams and all of your goals wrapped up in the idea of purchasing a home, and you learn that your loan officer catfished you? Or you fall in love with a house and you invest your money in the home inspections and whatnot, only to find that the real estate agent catfished you. This is real. In fact, this is my Tri-County office right here at 130 Tri-County Parkway by Benihana's. And most of the time I am here, I am cleaning up other loan officers' messes. Very specifically, loan officers give fake pre-approval letters to buyers. And the buyers get engaged in the loan process, $500 for earnest money, $400 for home inspection, another $400 for the appraisal, $90 for the termite, only to find out that they never were pre-approved. So that's what we're talking about today, and this is very real. 50% of my time I spend helping people patch themselves back up after being catfished. So that's why we're devoting an entire session to just that. Let's make sure that I have the comments coming in. Okay, cool beans. All right, so we're gonna hit 3 points. So take good notes, 3 points. The first point that we're gonna talk about these real estate websites. Now, we're not gonna mention any names because, of course, I'm a good guy. I'd never drop a name and throw someone under the bus. But in preparation for our conversation today, I actually looked at the most popular real estate websites. I pretended that I was buying a house, so I looked at all these different websites, and only one real estate company did a decent job. Now, we won't mention that company's name, but the other companies, they use such deceptive practices that I felt it was necessary to talk about it as the #1 point. Folks, when you're buying a house, you have to remember that your loan officer and your realtor, we are salespeople. And we have cars, we have mortgage payments, we have child supports, and we have things that we have to do with our money, so we are going to sell you. Now, this real estate website business, what they do, they put all the wonderful information about the house on the website. They get professional photographers, and these professional photographers, they take these glamorous photos. They use fisheye lenses and the HDR photography, and I forgot to take off my Fitbit, and it is very distracting. So they use these websites and they give you all of these wonderful pictures, and then to the side they show you that you can purchase this home, this $500,000 home, for only $1,000. They say $1,000 is your payment. And it kills me because as a loan officer, we can get fined, we could lose our licenses if we mislead. But to this very day, to this very minute, I challenge you to go on these real estate websites and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You go and look at a house on the left-hand side, you see that you can buy this house with a payment of something that is not true. And it frustrates me, because those same clients, they come in here and then I whip out the right tools and I whip out the truth, and then they cry right here in my office because they've been catfished. So what do you do about it? You can complain all you want, or you can equip yourself with our mortgage calculator app. Now, I'll be honest with you. I know that a lot of you watching this video, you have your own loan officer, you have your own real estate team, or maybe you already bought a house. That's fine. But I'd like you to click on the link that we're going to show at the end of this video and download this mortgage calculator app and share it to people who are interested in buying a house. Why? The mortgage calculator app that we have built here at Equity Resources, it shows you the truth. It shows you, for example, if you're buying a house using FHA financing and you want to put, let's say, 5% down, it'll show you the total mortgage payment, not just the principal and interest payment that looks appetizing. So it'll show you the fact that when you get to that drive-through, your hamburger is going to be this big. Or when you get to the end of that line at that certain salad place, your salad's going to be that big and the apples are going to be brown. The mortgage calculator app tells you the truth. And that's what you need when you're looking for a home. You want to know the true mortgage payment, okay? So that's number one. I'm going to show you the link so you can get your mortgage calculator app. The second point, pre-approval letters. And I know that a lot of my colleagues here at Equity and my former colleagues at the other banks where I've worked, they're going to be very upset by me telling the truth, but I have to say it. A pre-approval letter is garbage. In fact, a pre-approval letter, it takes 10 seconds to generate, and 9 times out of 10, loan officers don't even sign it. So a pre-approval letter is about as worthless as that salad. It's about as worthless can be. Now, you call a lender and he gives you, hello, how are you, Ms. Jackson? He gives you a pre-approval letter, sometimes without looking at your credit, sometimes without running the information through the computer. So how do you know you have a decent pre-approval letter? Here's how. What bankers don't tell you is the fact that we get your information, we pull the credit, and we have the option of spending more time on your file. We can run that information through 2 vehicles, desktop underwriter or loan prospector. Most old school loan officers like myself, we use desktop underwriter. And it's going to give us 3 results. I call them green light, yellow light, or red light. Obviously, we want to see a green light, the words approve eligible. So if you're buying a house and you got pre-approved from your lender and he's trying to give you a pre-approval letter, say, hey, wait a minute, man, hold up. Did you run it through the computer? Because I'm going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money looking for a house, dude. I want to make sure you took the time to run it through the computer. Seriously. And the loan officer, if he decides he doesn't want to work with you, you know you need a new loan officer because you were going to get catfished. It takes sometimes 30 minutes to run a file through the computer, sometimes longer. But make sure that you work with a lender who is not afraid to show you, hey, look, I ran everything through. You have a green light. You have the words approve eligible, so you're fine. Now let's go a step further than that. Let's say you want to be sure. Let's say you want to be sure you're ready to purchase a home and you want to make sure that you have enough income. Let me show you a very easy exercise that will help you do that. Number 3, JB's simple exercise. Take your income, divide it by 3. So for example, let's say you make $36,000 a year. $36,000 a year really means $3,000 per month. So you take that figure and divide it by 3. And you get $1,000. So when you have a moment, take your income, divide that monthly income by 3. What do you think that number represents? My friends, that number represents where you should be shopping for a total mortgage. This number should illustrate your principal and interest and taxes and insurance projected payment. So a $1,000 PITI payment is really $120,000. So that's what you should be shopping for when you get pre-approved. Let let me share this story with y'all. I was trying not to share it, but I need to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but. So a funny thing happened this weekend. On Friday, I received a call from an old friend, an old colleague, and the friend said, hey, I need you to look at this file. So okay, fine. I haven't talked in 2 years. Okay, fine. Let's look at the file. But wait a minute, I want you on the line to talk with this other loan officer. Now, I'm a loan officer, but you wanted me to talk to another loan officer on a conference call. So my friend said, I have this file going with this other bank, and they pre-approved him. So you know what I say about pre-approvals. It's a robo-stamp thing where these banks just carelessly shoot out pre-approval letters because, of course, a catfish means it increases the odds of success or profit. That's why they shoot these pre-approval letters out like that. They just shoot letter after letter after letter after letter, and they hope that they get the majority of the fish. Get that little metaphor? They hope that they get the majority of the fish because, of course, law of averages. So the more pre-approval letters they shoot out, the more profitable they become. It's horrible business because you're going to hurt lots of families in the process. But nonetheless, I digress, sorry. So I'm on this conference call with this other loan officer, seasoned loan officer, and this loan officer is telling me about his bank and his underwriting and how they couldn't get this file closed. No big deal. So I tell the loan officer to bring me the paperwork. So I get a stack of paperwork about that thick, easily an inch or 2 inches of paperwork that this particular loan officer and his bank gathered through underwriting. And I'm looking at the paperwork and I'm combing through it. And the very first thing I see the tax returns. And I'm shaking my head because the gentleman's income was $26,000 per year. Now that's the gross. We know the take home is going to be significantly less, but the irony here, banks care about you repaying the mortgage, but we don't even use the true net. Isn't that ridiculous? But anyway, the guy's income is $26,000 a year divided by 12. Hey, Carolyn. So his true monthly income, let this sink in, his true monthly income was $2,166. How much do you think the purchase price was on his home? Anyone want to take a guess? So JB said you take the income divided by 3, and that should be where you shop. So in this case, 722 means a $90,000 mortgage. Okay, maybe 95 if you're in the city of Cincinnati. But the gentleman wrote an offer, an accepted offer for a $180,000 home. $180,000 home. Now, you could say, wait a minute, JB, hold on. How could this guy make $2,000 a month, which really means the bring home was more like $1,700? So how the hell do you think he was going to make the mortgage payment if his mortgage payment was the same thing as his income? In what world do you buy a house where you can't survive? People, that's what's going on. These loan officers are giving these horrible pre-approvals and saturating our market with these unprofessional practices, making it very difficult for good people like this gentleman and his family to buy a house. So he was catfished. And by the time I gave him this quick exercise of taking your income divided by 3, that's where you should be shopping. By the time I explained that to him, he was broken because he spent earnest money, $500, appraisal money, $400, home inspection money, $400, and termite, $90. He spent all that money and he never had a prayer he never had a chance of buying that home. In fact, who do you blame? The real estate agent, the loan officer, the buyer? Maybe they all catfished each other. But the bottom line is, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about buying a house, again, make sure that you protect yourself from bad professionals who are shooting out these pre-approval letters and killing your chance of becoming a homeowner. So quick review. Number one, we're going to send you the mortgage calculator app. It's going to show you the total mortgage payment. Number two, make sure that you have a legitimate pre-approval letter. Don't just get pre-approved. Interrogate your loan officer and say, man, hey, look, you need to send me the desktop underwriting findings. It's my credit, my social, my information. So send me that information so I know you took the time to run it through. And lastly, take your income. Do it for yourself. You're not a loan officer. You're not a real estate agent, but you can take your income and divide it by 3 and figure out if you're looking for a house appropriately or with false expectations. So those are the tips today. We really appreciate you joining us as we discuss catfishing. I don't see any other questions. We'll give it a couple seconds to see if you guys have any questions. And thank you for chiming in, Monica, and everyone else, Carolyn. But we're going to save this video. Feel free to share this information and all of our YouTube videos about credit repair, about financing the dream, about the super grant. We're here to help. Again, our address here is 130 Tri-County Parkway here in the heart of Tri-County. And if you have any other questions, you can reach me at 513-518, hi Mary, 6318. All right. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great evening.